Hey, this is Nancy from Nancy's Garden Soap Co. And tonight I would like to make a pure Castile soap that's unscented and put it into these flower molds in the back here. This is the olive oil that I'm using. It's chef's quality olive pumice oil. It's cholesterol-free food. Anyway, I've got 2 pounds of it, or 32 ounces of Castile soap. This is a really basic recipe. It is one that would probably not be of a lot of interest to people who've done a lot of soap making, but it's a very basic, good beginner recipe for those who are interested in that. So I've got 2 pounds of the olive oil in here, 32 ounces, and I ran it through a soap calculator, like the one that's on soapcalc.net, and it calls for 8 ounces, 8.15 ounces of water, which I have here, and then I'm going to measure out into this container, make sure it's dry. It calls for 4.08 ounces of lye. I'm doing a 2-to-1 ratio of water to lye. So let's turn this on. You like my South Jersey accent? Turn it on. And no, you probably don't like my accent. Okay, 4.08. When I get close to the correct amount, it's 4 ounces, I like to change the unit over to grams and then look at my sheet. It says I need 115 grams. So I add a little bit more. That's actually 115 right there. So we're going to go with that. I think the grams are a little bit more precise, especially when you're working with 4.08 ounces, which is 115 grams. All right, so the next step is to add the lye to the water. Always add the lye to the water. And somewhere I read that you always think of it as it snows on the lake, so that the lye represents the snow and it falls into the lake, and that's how you remember which one goes where. They say that if you add the water to the lye, it volcanoes, and I don't know anybody who actually wants to try it out to see if it will spark a volcano. I just believe that it's probably true. And that's the warning. It snows on the water. And there you have it. Now what I do with this is I take this and I put it in the sink, which I have right over here. Let's see if you can see my sink. Yeah, I think you can. I'll put it in the sink and I turn the cold water on it and let it run until it fills it up. How's that? All right, meanwhile, back over here, we have the lye. This is going to start to fume. And you often open a window. You could do it outside if you really want. To me, it's not worthwhile. I'm on the 2nd floor, and carrying it up and down would be more hazardous than just mixing it here and opening a window. As you add the as you start mixing it, I like to use a stainless steel most of the time. My mixer must be in the dishwasher right now, so I'm using a dedicated spatula. And what I decided was that the white spatulas in my house are for food, and the colored ones are for mixing soap. So you can come up with your own rule. You can try to mark them or do whatever you want. This is now turned opaque and white, and it's really hot, so I'm going to let it cool down and turn clear, and then we can mix it into our oils. Alright, as you can see, it's now clear. It's still a little bit warm, and here is my olive oil, and I'm going to pour the lye into it by pouring it through a strainer, because I see couple little white bits that look like sand that I don't want going into my oil. They probably are some kind of either undissolved lye or impurity in the lye. And again, same process. I'm putting that in the sink and letting it fill up with cold water. And in the meantime, we have our lye right in here. Now, if you were adding a fragrance oil to this, or an essential oil to your Castile soap, you could add it directly to the oil, before you add the lye, especially if it was a fragrance oil that moves quickly, or you could add it after you've reached a light trace. And this is the stick blender that I'm using to mix this. This is the end piece, and then it attaches here. It's a Hamilton Beach. This one's working pretty well for me. I've had it for a while. I like that it's all metal, and I like that it detaches so that I can wash it separately without having to worry about getting the motor wet. Alright, so here we have the olive oil with the lye mixed, and I'm going to turn on the stick blender and mix it up while you watch at high speed. Okay. Alright, here's the soap. I only stick blended it for maybe a minute or two. Now my lye was really hot. And this here is a thick trace, so I'm going to pour it real quick. Grab the molds and see if you can see this. And pour them in. Alright, I made 4 of these little guys, and 12 of the others, 12 3-ounce soaps. And I think these are 2-ounce soaps, these little ones here. And I still have extra. What do you know? Alright, so out of 16 ounces of oil and 4 ounces of lye, I got 12 soaps plus 4 little ones. Not bad. I do see a couple air bubbles underneath this, which is not good. Alright, I will see you tomorrow or the next day when I unmold these. I don't know how long it'll take for them to be ready to unmold, but I'll show you when I'm ready. It's the next night, and earlier today I tried taking out one of these because when I would go like this to the soap, it actually, you could see a gap there, so I tried pushing some out, and I pushed this one out, and you can see it turned out pretty well. There's a little flaw right on this edge right here where it kind of got stuck, and I'll try showing you how that happens. So I took the rest of the soaps and I put them into the freezer. So these guys are all frozen right now, and they should pop out pretty easily because they're frozen. When I pulled it out earlier and it messed up, it was kind of like when this folded inside out, and that's when I had a problem. But since it's frozen, it should be fine. Here it is. It turned out kind of perfect, or that one did at least. Let's pop this one out. When they're frozen, you can flip it inside out, and it doesn't really matter, as far as I know. It looks pretty good. This shape right here is my favorite. I don't know why. It's just the prettiest of all of these. See a little speck right there. But overall, not bad. This one. Couple air bubbles right there. A little something right there. Settled. Okay. Let's see what's next. One more. Excuse me. There's that. That's that one. And no! Sorry. Phone's scaring me. Alright, there's those. Here's the next set. There. They pop out pretty easily. This one has some little specks in it. Not sure what's up with that. And that one right there. There we go. Alright, and then this could be a little bit interesting right here because these are little round pucks that are the leftover pieces. I think that's going to come out just fine. You see how there's a little bit of a shadow here. We put a little pressure and it popped right out. That's good. 2, 3, oops. And this one. And there you have it. They're kind of pretty. At least the unmolding turned out well. Now these guys, olive oil soap is typically very soft. So I discounted the water in them. It was a 2-to-1 ratio of water to lye, and I'm hoping that they'll cure fast for an olive oil Castile soap. That's about it for now. Thanks for watching. If you have comments or suggestions of things that you do or things that you'd like to see created, please write them in the comment section below. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.